Alright, so I want to have a little bit of fun today. It's Sunday. I'm about to do a little cooking. Yeah, I got a few different hats we can do here. And so, no mind the chef's jacket. It makes me feel like a chef again. Haven't been in the kitchen as a chef in a restaurant for a little while, but I like wearing the jacket. It makes me feel like I'm back in the kitchen. So, here's the thing. Today we're going to do a little cooking on some meats on the grill. I have some tuna steaks, and I'm gonna have some chicken legs. I already have the grill going outside. Got it set to medium temperature on there. It's a gas grill we're gonna use today. And I have some other dishes we'll make here in the back. It's not gonna be a real long. I won't have you see everything I'm doing. I just want to show you some of the basic things that I was doing for this meal, and I'll show you the after pictures in the end. So, I'm gonna add a little bit of some training in here in the middle after I get this beginning part going. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my meats out of the refrigerator. What we have here is two things we have going on here. First I have some salmon in here. Or excuse me, not salmon. This is actually tuna steaks. These are some 1-inch thick tuna steaks. I've actually been having these marinating basically for about 2 hours now. Alright. Oh, those are beautiful. I'm so happy, so happy. Okay, so tuna steaks got out here. Put over here. Tuna steaks, what we did with those is, in this bag here, the Ziploc bag, what I did was I had some olive oil, a little bit of olive oil, some white cooking wine, and about three-quarters of a teaspoon of some Italian seasonings, and then about a teaspoon of garlic. Okay, and I put that all into the bag here, tossed it all up, tossed it real good, and I put the tuna steaks into the bag, let them marinate for about 2 hours. Over here in this another container here, I have, these are chicken legs, and why it's in this container here is what I did was I actually brined those. I like brining my meats, chicken and so forth, poultry items before I put them on the grill, because it just gives them a little more juicy. It holds the moisture in there a little bit longer. So there's not too much to do about these here, about the tuna steaks or whatnot. So I'm going to put these on the grill here shortly. I actually need to get this chicken out and drained and put on here, and I'll add some seasoning to this. Basically, the basic seasoning to this, I'm not going to do too much extra to it. Again, it already has the flavor from the brine in there, which is basically water and a lot of salt. You stir the salt and everything in there real good. All I'm going to do with this, all I'm going to do to add to this chicken is add some California garlic pepper. Just a little blend picked up from one of the health food stores. I don't know which one it was. But I'm going to add that to this chicken, and then I'm going to throw it out on the grill. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so got the chicken out there on the grill. That's going. I didn't put this tuna out there yet because the tuna doesn't really take that long to cook. But right now, so I gotta put the chicken out there now because it's gonna take much longer. Gotta watch it, make sure you turn it, okay? But what we have in the background here, we have two saucepans in the back. Both of them have water boiling in them. One I'm gonna turn down a little right now because I'm gonna add some vegetables to that just to bring, because they're frozen right now. Fresh vegetables, they're frozen. I'm gonna toss them in the water and bring them up to temperature, right? In the other pot, I'm gonna put some pasta noodles in there, some tortellini pasta into it, bring that up to temperature. We're actually gonna toss that in a Alfredo sauce. Alfredo sauce, right? Start the Alfredo sauce. We're gonna add some mushrooms to the Alfredo sauce, and guess what? It's kicked up a little bit with a little bit of bacon in the Alfredo sauce. Oh, we're American, gotta love bacon. Hold on. Alright, so while this stuff is cooking in the back, the key thing about cooking pasta noodles is you want to have your water, you want to have basically like an 8-to-1 ratio, the amount of water to the amount of pasta you're going to have. The thing about it is, because if you put the noodles in there, your pasta noodles into your boiling water and there's not enough water in there, the ratio of water, if there's not enough in there, what's going to happen is you're going to bring the temperature of your water down, and it's going to take your noodles forever to cook, and it's going to be right back to boil. So if you have a lot more water compared to how much pasta you're putting in there, it'll stay boiling and it'll cook them that much faster and cook them all the way thoroughly through. So you want to get that like chewy outside, you want to get that real chewy inside and it's real soft on the outside. You want it to be tender all the way through. Okay, so all this cooking. Here's the thing, today had a great day here in the Fortune household. Father and I got to go out and went to church together, had a great service there. And one thing I learned from church today, and I really want to relay this story, I like it a lot, because what the preacher said, he said today, talks about, he had a conversation with a brick. Okay, now it's the story, he said it was a brick, and yes, throws it off. But anyway, just to replay the story, what he said was, he was coming into church this morning, and he had a conversation with the brick on the bottom of the church, right? So the brick said, hey, Pastor, so he's like, hey, what's going on, Mr. Brick? The brick says, hey, I've been down here at the bottom of this church building since the building's been built, okay? I've been here and I haven't crushed, I haven't been broken, I haven't been demolished, no way. I'm still standing here strong. And the Reverend says, yeah, okay. To Mr. Brick says, do you know why I did that? And the Reverend says, no, Mr. Brick, tell me why haven't you been crushed with all this weight and everything on you? Mr. Brick says, well, when they were making me, what they did is they dug up a bunch of clay and they put it into a big bowl, and they started spinning this bowl. Okay, the bowl was just spinning, and they kept it spun. It turned into dust, and after it turned to dust, the people started putting water into the bowl and started mixing the water up with the bowl, with the dust in the bowl. Once it got to the right mixture, they put me into these molds, and they formed me into the brick shape that I am now. And then they put me into an oven. Okay, they got this oven that was hundreds and hundreds of degrees hot. Okay, they put me in there. So I'm in there and I'm like, all right, how long do I got to be in here, right? Because it's getting hot. So I wanted to come out. It was getting hot. So I was like, I knocked on the door. I said, let me out of here. And the guy who was making me, who I am today, said, no, it's not time for you to come out yet. You got to stay in there. I can't do that yet. He's like, yeah, man, but I'm already a brick. Let me out of here. It's like, no, you got to stay in there long enough. You got to stay in there long enough. You're not ready yet. So Brick's like, man, all right, how long do I have to stay in here? The guy who formed me, the guy who made me who I am, said this to me. He said, you got the fire on the outside right now. You're burning red hot. He said, but when the fire gets inside of you, when the fire that's on the outside gets inside of you, then I know you're ready. You see, that's what we're all looking for when we're trying to be successful. You know, some people going through the motions, you're trying to get things going for you, and you're being tested. You're constantly being tested, right? You're being spun around, you've been broke down, you've been filled back up again, and you've been put through the fire. Think about this, some of us get in that fire and we try to get out too early. We're knocking on the door like, let me out, I'm already who we want me to be, I'm in the shape. No, you're not ready yet. You got to go through that fire till that fire gets outside of you, starts getting inside of you, and you come out, putting yourself through that fire, you become strong enough that when I take you out of the fire, you're able to support thousands and thousands of pounds more weight than you were when you first were pulled out the ground and from that clay. That's what we're going through these struggles for. That's what we're going through these struggles for. To get molded into somebody that's solid, that can be a solid foundation that can be built upon. You're building a legacy for your family. You got to go through this fire till you get formed to that hard substance that everybody can be founded upon, that your family, your legacy can be built upon. All right. I'm back. Got the tuna steaks right here, the 1-inch tuna steaks. See the nice grill marks on there. Got the chicken cooked over here on the side here, the chicken legs. Alright, we have the sauce has been going. I first put off the mushrooms in there first, correct? And then I put the sauce on top of there. I brought up the temperature. I drained the pastas, the tortellonis. And I'm about to put those in, toss those in the sauce over here. Excellent. Those will be done here. That's going to be done here very shortly. So I'm going to put in the back here is I'm going to go ahead and put in the frozen vegetables, the mixed vegetables here, fresh vegetables that have been frozen. Throw them in the boiling water back here. Get those back up to temperature. And then I'm going to do a real quick saute with a little bit of vegetable oil, and I'm going to finish it off with some garlic and a little white wine sauce. White cooking wine. Doesn't that look good? Oh, that is so good. Oh. Let that cook for just about 30 more seconds there. I'm glad you guys joined me today. Again, we have the 1-inch ahi tuna steaks here. We grilled out, put on the grill along with the chicken wings, the chicken legs. Excuse me. The chicken legs were they were brined in some salt and water. We marinated these the steaks, the ahi steaks, in it's a little blend of olive oil, some white cooking wine, garlic, and some herbs on there. This here we have the Alfredo sauce, a little bit of bacon and some mushrooms, and we tossed some spinach-filled tortellonis in there. Back here now, about to take off the stove. Last thing we have here is some fresh vegetables. All we did is take them off they were frozen, they were fresh ones that were frozen, threw them in some hot water, some boiling water there, brought them up to temperature, tossed them in a pan and sauteed a little bit of vegetable oil, just a little bit. Finished it off with a little bit of white cooking wine and some garlic. Oh yeah, we're done. See you next time.